in Don Garber's State of the League address a couple of weeks ago, he did something I was not expecting out of him, but addressed this worldwide notion that MLS is a retirement league, and it came off of the back of one Brazilian guy, Neymar.
I like that. Why is it? What's with the knee names? We got Neymar and Gleesnes. Are they related?
They gotta be. They gotta be like best friends. Neymar comes out and says that he wants to go to MLS simply because he can have a 3-month long vacation. Now, I don't know if like people just don't get it or if it was a joke. NYCFC had 6 weeks off this year. Unless he plans on going to play for Cincinnati, where his season ends.
That's a 12-month vacation.
I would say where his season ends after the first week. This guy's not getting a vacation. And I'll go into this a little bit more, but these are the type of players we don't want here. The people who think that it's going to be a walk in the park, the people who think they're coming just to collect a paycheck. I think it was Higuain. Yeah, Gonzalo Higuain thought that he was just going to show up, play at Miami, collect a paycheck, and call it a day. And he came out like at the end of his first year and was like, "This is the toughest league in terms of physicality and you know, work rate and all this other stuff that I've ever played in. You're not going to just come here and get a check. They're going to work you." To follow that up, a lot of people take that thing that Neymar says and follow it up with, well, MLS is a retirement league. Now, this is what Don Garber had to say, and I'm going to pass it on to you after I say this. When Zlatan left MLS, nobody said he went to go retire in Italy. Frankly, I was insulted by that, because if Zlatan came to us at the same age where he went back to Milan, it would have been seen as a retirement move on his part. He worked very, very hard in MLS, and he's working very, very hard in Serie A. I'm not quite sure why we're viewed differently, but that is what it is. So I want to know what you think about that statement and kind of what you think about the whole Neymar situation as well.
I was so excited to talk about this one. I don't agree with it, but I absolutely understand why Europe views us this way. Is because if you look back 5-6 years ago, or even like farther back, just if you take 5-6 years ago as like a starting point and then just go like further back into our history, yeah, this league was absolutely a retirement league. Frank 100%. Lampard, Andrea Pirlo, Steven Gerrard. I mean, it was terrible. They were horrible, uninspiring signings where they were just grabbing big names that were literally looking for retirement. So yeah, that I completely understand. Like, that was a valid opinion to have 5-6 years ago. The issue is it's not 5-6 years ago anymore. I understand it's a short period of time, but this league has changed tremendously. It is complete opposite now. This league is a huge feeder league for a lot of European leagues at this point. There's a lot of really good young talent coming through, whether it's young like American homegrowns or South American budding superstars that are coming here, getting some more recognition and moving on to Europe, just like Miguel Almiron did. I absolutely agree with every word that Donnie Garber has said, or Daddy Garber.
Daddy Donnie Garber.
Daddy Donnie Garber. Yeah, why would Zlatan's move to MLS originally? I guarantee you a lot of people were looking at it and be like, yeah, that's a retirement move. But then he goes back to Serie A and it's like, oh, Zlatan's just built different. Like, he's always in his prime. Why is it different? Because you had that mindset from a few years ago? It's not how it works here anymore. Maybe you should look into it a little bit more. And I wanted to mention one thing, because I'm a big fan of this YouTube channel. I don't know if you watch it either. It's called HITC Sport. They got They got a guy on there. He's known as the Irish guy. He made a video on this whole thing where he was talking about Neymar's comments and Don Garber's comments about Neymar. And he totally had that like Euro snob mindset of like, oh, MLS is a retirement league. They should be thrilled that Neymar wants to go there. And I get it. Neymar's a huge name, would bring in tons of money for Donnie Garber, and would be miles ahead of everybody in terms of talent. But the way Neymar's comments are, he's absolutely going to come here and not care. He's just going to fool around. get his big brand deals, and just collect a paycheck, and he doesn't care what he does on the field. He might be out half the time injured. Who knows? So when I watched that video, I was I'm not gonna say I was triggered, but I was a little upset. I was like, that
Connor's in the comments, all caps.
yeah, all caps. But it just, that's not the way the league is anymore. And he was mentioning exactly what I was just saying. He mentioned the signings of Pirlo, Lampard, Gerrard when they were coming here 5-6 years ago. But the league is not like that anymore. This league is exciting. It's got a ton of young talent that's going to be moving on to Europe very soon. And give it like 3 or 4 more years. And I think Europe will start to realize that this isn't a retirement league. We've created Alphonso Davies for Europe. There are guys that didn't necessarily play games in MLS, but were at academies like Gio Reyna and Weston McKennie. There's a lot of talent coming from MLS. So to call it a retirement home or retirement league is completely off base.
We got Connor heated. This is the first time I've seen Connor so animated about something like this. This is awesome.
I just think it would be like me trying to make comments on like the Danish league. Like, I don't know anything about the Danish league. Why would I know anything about it? Like, I don't follow it. I don't listen to like podcasts on it. I don't even know like who's leading in the table. But people in Europe seem to have a lot of really strong opinions on MLS without having any knowledge on the league at all. And they probably can't even name half the teams in this league.
Correct. Now, this whole thing that you're doing, this energy that you're giving off is exactly what we need to grow the league and beat down this narrative of being a retirement league or an easy paycheck league, right?
Yeah.
If tons of players came into that mindset, this whole mindset, and then go public and talk about how much work it is, like Higuain, people need to listen to it. If our commissioner comes out and is making this comment, then everybody else should be behind him. He calls out some of the biggest players in the world, Neymar, who
he's massive.
Yeah. And he's now on my bad list, but the guy will sell tickets and jerseys like nobody's business, right? But going back to this Zlatan comment, if you're going to call this a retirement league, then every other league needs to get the same treatment, right? Can you name the one league that has an average age less than MLS right now? Total.
One league with average age less than MLS.
European league.
I would think maybe the Netherlands, the Eredivisie.
Eredivisie, correct. Every other team is minimum 2 to 3 years above us, except for Ligue 1, which is 20. I think we're 24.6. I think Ligue 1 is 25.6, as well as maybe Serie A. I did the math.
I thought Serie A would be very old.
Actually, do I still have it up? Maybe I still have it up.
I would love to hear.
I do. I have it up.
What's the Premier League comparison?
Okay, so MLS 25.4, Premier League 27.3.
Oh my goodness! What is this? Do you need canes over there in England? Do you need walking canes?
Bundesliga 25.6. So they're pretty much right up with us, which makes sense because we're selling them all of our players. La Liga 27.8. They're older than the Prem. Ligue 1 25.6. They're right with us. Serie A 26.8. Liga NOS 25.9. And Eredivisie 24.8. So of your top 7 European leagues, one of them has an average age less. But because we take one, and this is what I have in my notes, right? Every time we take one person who thinks they're going to come in and cruise to retirement on an expansion team that needs somebody to sell jerseys, we make at least 2 or 3 players that are heading to Europe that they're trying to buy and sell for a profit. But nobody looks at that because it beats down their narrative.
Yeah. I mean, you want to go look at and talk about MLS being a retirement league. They just sold 2 of their players to Arsenal. Matt Turner and Aaron Austin Trusty going to Arsenal. Are we sending our grandpas over there, allegedly. Arsenal must be out of their minds. They're buying a bunch of old players.
Well, I'm telling you, the more that we continue to sell to these teams, the less that you're going to see this whole. I'm hoping the less you're going to see this retirement league mindset go.
It's gonna shift though. MLS will always get beaten down no matter what. It's not going to be a retirement home at that point. It's going to be MLS can't produce good talent because they're going to go over like Turner and Trusty. They're never going to play. You know, it's going to be another Miguel Almiron, which Miggy was just, I don't think he was ever used correctly at Newcastle. So of course his tenure was never like sparkling. So yeah, I think that's the mindset that it's going to happen. It's going to change from retirement league to they just suck. That's my guess. But I think that there will always be people looking to just smack on MLS because it's easy for them.
Yeah, it is because they've grown up with a narrative of retirement league, bad level of play, and not fun.
Mm-hmm.
Two of those things are gone. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and it's not a retirement league. Level of play is not there, but that's because all of our best players are being sold at 18. I guarantee you, if we went into transfer market and found a list of all the players that played or came from an MLS academy and brought them all back here, our league would be consistent with what is going on over there.
I would say we would be almost borderline probably a top 10 European league if we had all the talent.
Now, that being said, the reason we can't do that is because we need the money, right? Because we don't have the infrastructure right now. And this is a whole nother conversation. We don't have the infrastructure right now to sustain a league without selling players on for profit, right? I think I saw when I was doing my research that the Premier League is operating at like $1 billion debt or $100 million, some massive deficit. Like they are just siphoning money, but they can because they're massive. That's what happened when you start your league in 1894 or whatever league you started at, right? We started in 1996.
Yeah, so recently.
We're not even 30 years old. Relax, people. It will get there, but it's not going to be for a while. It's not going to be tomorrow.
If we were to compare leagues at what, I don't know how old MLS is now. I know we just recently were 25. Let's just say anywhere between 25 and 30.
Right, we're like 27. This is the 27th season. We just picked up.
If we were to take every other league and compare them at their 27th season, MLS would arguably be the best league
100%
at 27.
I'm telling you, if I went back and found some recorded highlights of the Premier League in year 27 or whatever it was called, the English Champion League or whatever, in their 27th year, you are laughing at how awfully bad it is. But that's the Eurosnob mentality, right? One more question before I know, because we could talk about this all day long.
Oh yeah, we could have had a whole episode just on this topic.
We could just on this. We definitely could have. But my final question before we wrap this up: Neymar runs out of contract at age 33. You want him? You take him?
As of right now, I'd say no. I get that he's super talented. I would love to see Neymar play here, but I just don't think he's going to care to play here. He's just going to come in, collect his paycheck, and just not care on the field. I can't see him being motivated to play well here. I think he just wants his brand deals. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I don't know if you feel differently.
No, I could go my entire life without seeing Neymar put on a kit in MLS, completely content and would feel nothing.
Yeah.
10 years ago, 35-year-old Neymar, hooked my veins.
Yeah.
We're at a point we don't need him to be viewed in this global stage. Teams are looking at us without having the need of a Neymar or anything like that, right? But nothing would be better than if he did come here, thought he was going to dance around on the ball all day, and then
he was just a massive
in half.
Yeah.
Just right in half. It would, it'd be so great.
It would feel good as an MLS. Not really that I wouldn't obviously want to see like Neymar get injured, but I'd want to see him have that mentality of like, right? MLS is so easy, and then he comes in and gets a train wreck for him.
Or even like just some college kid comes out and is like, oh my God, this is Neymar. I'm going to make a tackle and just folds him in half. Like, it'd be great. But that's the thing. Like, I feel like if we took everybody who thought that this league was a joke, like, and they could just show up, put them on a field and just let them get run over by like Aaron Long and Walker Zimmerman for 30 minutes, they'd change their mind.
That's the thing. MLS defenders, they don't know how to defend. We talked about the quality of play. It's not there. So what do they do to play defense? They just play physical. They'll just run you over. Yeah, exactly. And MLS refs will allow it.
Yeah, they really will.